Hey everyone, very good evening to you all. Thank you so much for joining us for this special workshop. It'll be great if you can join from your computers like laptops or your PC and so on, so that you can like follow along and then also like work on things accordingly. So please log in through your laptops. And do you think we should wait for 2 more minutes before people join, or can we get started? You can just show it by a quick thumbs up using reactions. That'll be great. Like this, you can raise your hands, of course, anytime you have like any questions. I'm just going to get started in a second and pretty excited about today's session. See, we typically do not do this session many times during the year, but we really wanted to do it as a workshop this time so that a lot of people are benefiting and are getting an understanding of what to do, especially while going for grad school. Okay, super. So while we're just waiting for a couple more people to join and have quorum, a big welcome to everybody else. I hope that you had a great week and things are going well. I was just talking to somebody today and they were very worried about like, oh, there's so many things to do when you go for masters, right? The thing what you don't realize is going to masters is like fast tracking your career and getting the relevant skills that are needed. So, of course, going to grad school is going to be a little bit tougher. And the grad school application process, as I keep insisting, right, is designed to help you to learn how to perform in grad school. Okay. So, I think we have enough quorum for the moment. So, big welcome to everybody. So, we're going to get started with our session today, which is on postmasters career goals. Now, you might wonder what it is. Are we postmasters? No, we're not the postmasters of the year, but I'm talking about masters of any sort. It can be masters in computer science, MEng, MEM. It can be any of the masters, like in any different field, like engineering or even humanities or any other different field, right? So we're going to look at this career goals workshop. I'm going to have two things here for you. So please be aware of, please be ready to like work on those worksheets as well. All right. And we'll get started now right away. So some of you are new, but some of the others you've already met me. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. I'm one of the sorry, co-founders. Just give me a second. All right, so I'm one of the co-founders of Career Labs, and I'm going to be one of your chief mentors for this journey, throughout this journey. I have to tell you that during March, April, May, right, admissions consulting was a little like lying low. You know why? Because you guys are supposed to go and work on the GRE, right? So that's why it'll be a little low, and we'll be doing a lot of these workshops in order to like help you move ahead. Okay. So it's a pleasure to be talking to you today, and let me know if you can hear me or if you have any problems while we are discussing. So coming to it, I would say that one of the key things for you to notice is that I have helped a lot of students over the years, and it's really nice to see different things that are needed for people, right? So coming to the Career Labs course portal, right over here. So you really want to look at the servicing portal and the course portal. You can like go through multiple ways. I will tell you the easiest way for you to log in. This is important because all the documents that we're talking about today are going to be available here. So I would really, really request that you check whether you're able to access it, and then please go ahead. Okay. So lms.thecareerlabs.com, log in through your Google account, and of course, like you can like log into the course portal, wherein we're going to have like important tools to help you assess your admissions journey. Whoops. That looks a little weird, right? Sorry about that. Okay. Important tools, right? So that is what we're going to discuss today. The one of the tools that we're discussing today is obviously your career goals. You might be wondering, like, why does it matter? Why are we talking about career goals in March? I'm going to go to grad school later, right? I will tell you that this is the starting point. Without understanding why you want to go for a master's, if you try to go, there are going to be consequences. What are the consequences? You may not like the course. You may not be able to do well in the course. You know that there is a lot of money riding on the particular decision of yours. And I'm not sure if you have seen, right, the news that there are a lot of students who were found dead in the United States, actually. I particularly follow the US because I have a lot of my clients and everyone else going there. But it has been more common. And one of the reasons is that they don't understand what it takes to get into grad school or college or something. So that is why we emphasize that you better be very clear about what you want to achieve using the masters. It is very important to us, right? So anybody can get an admit into grad school. Very honestly, guys, you know, our process is so robust. Anybody can get into a grad school of their choice. It's not too hard. But having the success that you want in grad school, meaning that you don't have to spend a single pie. You know, for example, I will be telling you my story over the period of time, like multiple times, but that of my clients as well. None of my clients pay their full fees. You know why? Because they work towards research assistantships and get them. All right. So moving ahead, that is the reason why you need to be very clear about why you want to go for masters. There's a lot of things riding on it, and it's important for you to understand what is the benefit from it, why are you doing it, and whether you're wholeheartedly involved in the process. I'll also tell you one thing. I know that there are some of you today who say that, you know what, I'm not going for masters this year. I don't know. And I might go later, right? It is perfectly fine. You have to note one thing down. Whether you get a job in India or you get a job abroad, you are going to come back to me in 5 years' time for an MBA or some other thing, you know, because that's how careers are. Okay. All my students from previous years come back to me for MBA, and then those who come back to me for MBA come back to me for executive coaching and so on. So I always say that, you know, I have a long lifespan with you all. Okay. But that said, you have to understand that career is for a long time. You know, don't make this mistake of, oh, my friend is going there, my brother went there, my friend's friend went there, my senior went there, I saw this on your kid, I saw this on other things, hence I'm going to the school. Don't make that mistake. You need to be very clear about how the grad school is going to support you, and that's what we will see today. All right. So for those of you who just joined now, please log into lms.thecareerlabs.com. That is a place where we're going to be doing a lot of work today, right? In terms of worksheets and everything else. So please log in using your Google account and then let's get started. I really request you to use the portal because that's where we keep all the information and a lot of resources, which I'm going to use today and show you today as well. Okay, let's move. If you're looking at a techno management program or technical program, this program is for you. You might be wondering, why are you so partial to management? See, management programs, you're taking it tomorrow. So if you're interested, please come in, all right? But today we're going to discuss mainly about technical and techno management programs, because when I say technical, right, what it means is, it means that you need to have had certain amount of expertise in that particular field. Example, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, you should have done bachelor's in mechanical engineering at least, or related fields. Okay, that's what we mean. So you need to have technical expertise and domain expertise in that field. And that's what we mean by technical. So MS can mean anything else as well. It doesn't matter. It can be in any field, any kind of engineering. It can even be like an MS in sports. I had somebody who went for sports management, but technically that comes under the management category a little bit, you know, because it was actually given by the business school. So you could have music technology, you could have, like, I had somebody going in for pharmacological sciences, I had somebody going in for hospital management, but that is again a little different, and so on, right? So you could have any technical field coming in, and like that's exactly what we're going to discuss in terms of, you know, what are the goals that you're having, right? So the most important thing to understand is the importance of career goals. Oops, sorry, that's not for you. The importance of career goals. As I said, we discussed a little bit about it. I always say that, see, you don't know right now, I'm sure, because you guys are very young. I understand. You may not know completely right now as to what is the what so for example, like if I do a master's in say Purdue University right now, what is my job later? You may not be ever completely aware of it, right? But that's exactly why I want you to use the next 6 months and even the time afterwards in order to understand this better. All right. And I'm going to tell you about a roadmap to arrive at these career goals. I'm going to tell you about how to identify the roadblocks that can be there. And today we're going to fill the two forms. One is a graduate school preferences form, and other is a worksheet. I apologize for the frequent coughing. I'm just recovering from a really bad bout of laryngitis, but I hope that you're able to hear me. This guys, you're seeing every time, right? And I want you to keep this in mind. You have, my friends, less than 6 months to apply. So please make use of every moment of time that you're having. We already discussed profile building for many of you in your profile gap analysis sessions as well as your other sessions. So like quarterly profile mentoring sessions. I want you to make sure that you have this. You please take a printout of this and put it somewhere. Okay. We can even like give you special handouts of this if needed, but you can take a screenshot and paste it on your, where you're seeing it every day basis. Because please note that this is very important. If you are, somebody might say, Kritika, I don't even know if I'm going for masters, but you know what I say? Prepare for masters, you will get a job easily because preparing for masters is like a higher level prep. Okay. If you're going to give GRE, some of the other aptitude exams are going to be easy, right? Of course, like some aptitude components might be a little different, but it is going to be easy nonetheless. 60% of the GRE syllabus will 100% cover like most of some of your verbal stuff and everything else. Okay. So, and if you do a profile building for the masters, which is a little tougher to get into, obviously you'll get a job in India and you'll have the skill set that's required, right? The only difference is in India, like if you're going to apply for an interview, you'll be tested on the technical stuff right now. But if you're going abroad, right, you will be tested on the technical stuff throughout the master. So that's just a difference. Okay. Don't think that, oh, like masters doesn't seem to have too much of skill set or anything, right? Not really. It does. And that's why we ask you to work on research projects and other things and all that. Okay. So this timeline is very important, and I hope that those of you who just joined have noted into account. Now, all right, so today, what are we focusing? We are focusing on where are we applying and why are we applying, right? So we are focusing on the why aspect of it in terms of the grad school, which I think is very important before you get into this really complicated maneuver. See, why do I say complicated is because, see, profile building is obviously helpful, but then studying for a test like a GRE would take a long time, right? And then working on statements of purposes and like other things will also take like a long time. Okay, so what are we going to do today by the end of today's session is this goal. I'm just going to put this thing in the chat, all right? So give me a second while I put the link in the chat so that you are aware of. 1 minute. Okay, here we go. This is the link that you guys will be all using in order to view the form. Okay, so I would really want you to open this and let me know if you're able to open it at any time. I have added a link in the chat. I would request you all to please access it. And that's what we're going to fill out today. By the end of today, you'll be done by it. Okay, super. So when you open the form, it's very simple and straightforward. Just fill the first initial details. I'll show it to you right away. But keep it handy, and then we're going to fill out the rest of the stuff. Okay. Now, see, think about grad school. I know that you are going right now because you're thinking like, hey, you know what? I don't want to get a job in India, so I'm going abroad. Okay, fair enough. It's a good thing. But think of it then this manner, in a broad manner. You're gonna have the personal goals, professional goals, and financial goals. This is important to take into account because people think that, oh, I'm just going just to study, right? But then what about the rest of the things? Like, what about where you live? What do you do? What kind of support system do you have? What about your professional goals? It's not just enough for you to get a master's. You want to get a job after that. You want to grow in that country, wherever you are. Of course, make some money, and you need to have certain financial goals for yourself and so on, right? So, this aspect of the master's program is absolutely critical, right? So, yeah, someone's telling that, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I hope you can see the screen. So these are things. So these aspects are so important and they're very interlinked. And I'll tell you why it matters at this stage is because you decide which region you want to go. Okay. So for me, I'll give you a quick example. I was always very clear about the kind of research I wanted to do, the kind of program I wanted to study, what I wanted to learn more about, etc. So I was very clear about it. So my professional goals were very clear. Okay, this was also because I worked for some time before I went for a master's. So that gave me a lot of clarity in what I want to do exactly. And I have a lot of role models. But then when I got admitted into US and Germany, for me, the personal goals wise, US was easier because I already had a kind of like, it felt easier. Thanks to the American culture and everything else, I knew it better. I did not have any relatives or friends there, but I knew that it was easy for me to go and adapt to such a culture. I felt it was much more comfortable for me to go there. Okay. And I did not have any financial goals initially because my only initial goal was to immediately like get rid of my loan and everything else that I was taking. So that's what it was. When I had to decide between US and Germany, the personal decisions, the personal matters, and everything else came into the picture. All right. So, similarly, there are many reasons for going for a master's. I want you guys to write down the top three reasons for you. See, you might want to get a better head start to a career. So, for example, like if you want to get a really good job in ML, right, or even VHDL or something else, you better get a better get like a masters. Without that, you're not going to do. For example, in biotech, you can't get a degree with like you can't get into a top company without a master's. Okay, so you need a degree for the desired role. That is possible. You need better skills, obviously, because there's more competition in India. That's also another big reason. That's why the head start to career, because you want to get into the top companies by going to the better schools and having the better skills. Obviously, this possibility of going and getting access to the global stage, all right, and access to the better network and so on. So as you can see, right, there are many aspects here. I want you guys to write quickly the top three reasons for yourself, and you can share it in the chat, and you can also keep a note for it for yourself. Okay? Can you quickly do it, and you can just share it with me as a host. Right, go ahead and do it, please. Like, what are the reasons for which you are going for masters? Pick top three reasons. Can I get a thumbs up if everyone's able to hear me and see me, etc.? Please, not see me, like see the screen, etc. Okay. All right. So people are probably writing. All right. So let's move ahead. Come on, guys. Like, can you type out your top three reasons quickly? I hope you're all there. Can you quickly type out your top three reasons for the masters? I had just stopped share right now. Super. Yeah, now it's coming in. Better lifestyle, money, relocation. Yeah, fair enough. Good pay, better lifestyle in foreign countries, better job opportunities because of masters. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Some of you are like very clear about certain aspects. I have like other reasons as to wanting to have the better skills, the research as well. Good, good. That's something that's nice. Better career prospects, want to delve in depth in the field of biotech, explore different domains in biotech. Absolutely. Well done. Good. So these are very valid reasons. And of course, you can have more, you know. I had someone who said that I don't want to be with my parents and I'm done with my parents. And of course, I've seen so many students. I had some actually like this was a woman candidate some time back. She said like I can't get married this year, so I'm gonna go and so on. So this was really very interesting, and the reasons can be very different. But it's very important to understand that these reasons will drive the decision on the region. How so? I say please start on the personal goals that you're having. You know, do you want to become a citizen of the country wherever you're going? To be very honest, US looks very bleak at the moment in terms of getting citizenship. It takes a long, 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 long time. You know, people who went with me, I went to the United States in 2006. They haven't got citizen, like, you know, green cards yet, except for a few of my friends who did fast track PhDs, and they were able to get PRs, and they're on their way to getting citizenship even now. So it takes a whole lot of time to get a citizenship in certain countries. Canada and Australia are again suffering from having given out too many PR before. So even those countries are kind of down. Singapore has kind of like closed, you know, in the past 5 years, actually. Even in the past 5 years, I used to send like so many students to Singapore because it was closer home and so on, right? But your citizenship, the crime rate, 100% safety, what are the gun safety laws, right? Did you guys know that there are different gun safety laws and policies in different states in the United States? Yeah, you might want to check that out. You know, why do I bring the US is because a lot of you guys have indicated US is your top preference. Europe, like, see, Europe, Germany, nobody goes around brandishing a gun that much comparatively compared to the US. Okay. But yeah, like, so you really want to look at recreation and leisure time. For example, Germany would be like everyone's like a walker there, right? So that kind of thing is great. You would want like to understand what the commute like. Yeah. So, and then of course, the society becomes super important. So I just request everyone to mute. Yeah. There will be like a support system and then the culture. Very important, you know. One of the reasons I didn't go to the US versus Germany was the culture for me. I felt that the German system might be more strict. I need to learn a new language. That was tough for me. Not tough, like I did get a good score in German, but what's the point? I need to learn more. And I didn't really want to spend too much time learning that language, particularly at the time. So the education system, the healthcare, affordable housing. Obviously, healthcare is much better in the US, sorry, in Germany than the US, but yeah. So you get the drift. You really want to get an understanding of why you're going. Yeah. And you know what? Today we are having this career goals workshop as a result of the murders of US Indian students that are happening. I also have to tell you guys, see, you should always look at something with respect to something, right? Related to something. Now, see, yeah, there have been murders of Indian students in the past year, right? But then also look at the number of Indian students who went. You know, there were literally like 2.1 lakh Indian students who went, and the number of murders were one or two or three of it. Right now, I would also argue that that murder can happen in India as well, right? When you look at the statistics and so on. So you have to understand that there is a risk involved when you're going abroad. It is not easy. It's not like there is multiple risk. There is like, you know, you have to understand how comfortable are you how much risk are you willing to take? That's all it is. Okay. So for example, my friend recently visited Turkey. I would have been very apprehensive to visit Turkey given all the things that are happening in the region. But my friend visited Turkey and they were okay with like what was happening and so on. They visited Morocco right there. And one of my friends actually traveled to Israel right now. So what I'm trying to tell you is always in life, it depends on how much risk you are willing to take. And going abroad and studying abroad is like an adult decision. Okay. Meaning you are somebody who has decided to go someplace and then pick up some skills and then start earning a living. Now, whether you're in India, in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, or whether you're in New York, Washington, Seattle, etc., it doesn't matter. You have to understand that you are an adult and you're starting adulting basically when you're going in for your masters. So you really have to be prepared for that, and this is our way of like helping you prepare towards it. So please be aware of the long term consequences. Now you might worry, Kritika, like how do I know all this? Wait, that's why we're going to help you with a region research worksheet, and we're going to show you like how to like think about it. Okay. Professional goals are very important. We're going to spend a lot of time in this today's session on it. Example, like, do you want to become a data scientist or do you want to be a professor in academia? Or what kind of role do you want? What kind of company do you want? Do you know if it's possible to achieve your goals in your targeted country? Example, if you are, my friend was, she got a PhD in nuclear physics. Yeah, she was like really like very talented. She got a PhD in it, but she was barred from like applying to many, like almost 90% of the jobs in the United States, because 90% of the jobs in the United States were defense related and only US citizens could get into those kind of jobs. So that's what I mean by, is it possible to achieve your goals? Please like have an understanding of it. And then the workplace conditions. US is very fast paced. France was excruciatingly slow for me, honestly. I have worked with German counterparts. They were kind of okay. It wasn't too bad, right? But US was what felt right for me because it is a fast-paced system with too much of like work hours, and it was good though, right? We would get the results done really fast, and a lot of projects. There's a lot of freedom, etc. But that may not be true everywhere. It depends on company to company and region to region. Example, Sweden has a very good work-life, integration, I would say, and so on and so forth. So this is something also to be considered, and we will just look at real examples. I always say that please be aware of the financial aspect that is going to hit you. You will take a loan. Of course, your parents might help you, your sponsors might help you, somebody else might help you, you might take a loan, etc. Kind of figure out what is your financial goal that you want. What is the minimum amount of salary that you want to make in 5 years? What is the cost of living that you're willing to take? Somebody today was discussing about the most horrible skyrocketing rent rises in Sydney and Melbourne. It is like literally like 3 times 4 times the cost, and I would also say the same, right? Even in Bangalore the cost is crazy, like compared to like 5 years ago. So the cost of living in cities like big cities are going to be extremely very, very expensive. Example, LA. You don't really want to go to the Bay Area, San Francisco, LA, etc., unless you're willing to shell so much money and you have so much money. It's going to be really tough living in such a state like California or even New York City, for that matter. Okay, so you really want to be very aware of the cost of living and so on, and the options and so on. And most importantly, please also understand how it takes to get in, what's a study visa, work permit, etc., and so on. All right, you guys with me so far? Yeah. So let's get to some work at the moment. So I want you guys to now fill this out for me. Right now, take a piece of paper or take your, do it on your laptop, mobile phone, etc. Write this down and then quickly fill out, and then you can even like share it here. So when you're sharing it with me, you can just say short term, what kind of role do you want, etc. And you can just say long term. Okay. So quickly you can do this. And share it in the chat. You can share it with others if you want, but you can only share it with me alone if you want. Please go ahead because you all to do it. So example is also there. So for example, I'll tell you my own example. Immediately after my master's, my job was actually a controls designer in in a Merito Vapco was one of the good companies. I also got into a couple other companies, and the industry was in like controls and automation. It was actually in automotive simulations, but the company would do a lot of work for automotive aircraft and other things. So you could say it was more of engineering consulting work. So that was my job that I got. Okay. Now I'll tell you the job of my client. He has got into as a machine learning engineer in he got into deep mind AI, if you guys remember. Now that person is the one who's heading the Microsoft AI right at the moment. But yeah, have you done? Okay. I get one of the responses as I want to go into AI ML. I don't know what law jobs I should look for. Wow, that's a great question. But see, if you know a job, like, okay, so this is a very good question. So I'm gonna like answer this right now. So let's look at it. See, let's say that, oh, I don't know what are the jobs that are there, right? Okay, how can we find the jobs that are there, right? Let's look at this and I'm gonna show you. This is such a good question. Thanks for um showing or rather asking. And let's see. I'm going to quickly like go to my favorite school, of course, Georgia Tech. Why? Because it has so many concentrations, and of course, Carnegie Mellon is also there, etc., and all. But yeah, so you can look at this. So now the point is that these are all the things that you are going to study. Now, how do you know about like the possibilities of career path and everything? School will tell you. So if you're looking at career services, you will have like career services and career fair. Okay. So I wanted to go look at career services. Career services will tell you about the kind of jobs that are available, what kind of, the student information over here, the resources, guides, and everything else, right? So you will get a lot of resources in order to understand what kind of jobs can you get after your degree. So look at this. You can explore your degree. So they're saying like how to build your brand and discover the career options that come with your degree, right? So here, now you can go and then check. I'm just clicking explore the degree. I hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah, yeah, super. So you're going to explore the degree, which will open and understand what are the possibilities from it. So there are multiple jobs that are available. And isn't this beautiful? Just look at that. This is why I love the school. And every time they have multiple resources added and so on. This is why I really like grad school and anything associated with the whole higher ed space. So what kind of job can you get? This is one way to search. Another way to search, super simple. Just go and search Google, of course, jobs in machine learning AI, right? But the first point of information for you is going to be these kind of companies and everything else. Now, see, you can search the job opportunities near where you want. You can look at the career options provided by this. Okay, so I'm just clicking on these resources and you can choose like which industry major you have. It doesn't have to be only this, what do you call it as, computer science, which I showed you, it can be any major. So, which is what I really love. So, you go to grad school and then think about multiple different types of grad school, etc., and so on and so forth. Okay. Now you can look at like what are the jobs that are available in health and medicine, on business and media and science, math, and technology, which is where engineering comes in, computer science comes in, etc. Okay. So this is like the school becomes the first place for you, the career services becomes the first place for you in order to get started. And of course, there are tons of opportunities. For example, obviously Google, and this is where you can use AI, my friend. You can use AI in order to figure out what are the jobs that are available in your field and explore more. Okay. Isn't that cool? So that's how you do it. I hope that you all know how to use AI, the Bing one. I can also show you later. All right, I'm just going to get back to the quick like discussion that we had before. And that's how you get it. So your short-term goal and your long-term goal are going to be derived from understanding more about it. The another place of another resource is obviously to study the job descriptions on LinkedIn, on Google, etc. So, like if you just go type in ML engineer, you're going to find so many people having that kind of a title on LinkedIn, and you can understand more about who are the people who are offering it, right? But as I said, the first source is career services, the grad school itself, then of course the company itself, and then LinkedIn. So these are all ways that you can find out. Can somebody else also give me your goals? Guys, you're awfully quiet. Uh, if you're awfully quiet, then I can't help you so much. But I hope that the rest of you are following and go on, so on, right? Okay. But I do have like somebody who said that my immediate goal is to be a research assistant in a biotech pharma company and then later try for a PhD. Nice. Yeah, PhD is a long, long time, my friends. Yeah, it is hard. Okay. What about somebody else? Like others, can you just make sure that you're writing the statements? So if you don't do the work now, then there's no point for you to attend a live workshop. Correct? All right. So I hope that you will do the work later on at your own leisure. But this is what you're going to do. Now, one thing you might have realized is that how do I know? Like, Kritika, I don't even know my short term goal. You're asking me long term goal after 10 years. Who knows? The world may not even exist. Very valid point. By the way that the things are moving, we are also very skeptical about things. But the short term goals have to be specific. They are like the stepping stone. So you will be able to see it, right? So you have to be very specific, saying that I want to work as a machine learning engineer in DeepMind AI, working on these kind of projects. Okay, that is the way that you talk about short-term goals. And in the long term, I hope to be an entrepreneur working on AI solutions for the healthcare sector. So that can be vague. So the long term goals are more directional, right? Meaning that I will take this direction, but I don't know what it is. It's like a big picture. So I'm saying that, hey, you know what? In the future, I will be a data scientist, or I will be a chief technology officer, or I will be, entrepreneur, and so on. So it is more directional. The short term goal has to be super specific, and this is what you write in your essays. Okay. Now, career goals, let's dive deeper. What are the industries after grad school? There are tons of industries that are available. So these are just few companies that exist in the world, right? Can someone give me an example of an energy company quickly? How about media? Can one of you give me healthcare? One of you give me consulting? Just type into everybody, please, if you don't mind. Yes. So, for example, Tata is definitely working in technology, manufacturing, consulting, obviously, right? And so on. Okay. How about yeah, Gale Oil is there. Yeah, your Shell is there. How about e-commerce? Amazon, everybody. Manufacturing, you can have your Tesla. Technology, Google, right? And now, though, you can go for Microsoft AI, of course. Financial services, anybody, right? Like you can have Goldman Sachs and your Credit Suisse and everything else. Okay, Bloomberg and so on. You know what? Engineers are also definitely like absorbed. Okay, my friend was an industrial engineer and he got into financial services. He lives in New York City. Right now, he moved to New Jersey actually because it was bigger. New York City became too expensive, and that's what, right? A lot of people get into consulting, and so on. So you guys understood, right? So you can look for different industries. Example, see, I can be a AI engineer in the automotive sector, in the healthcare sector, in the consulting world, right? So as an engineer, you can work in many, many things. So that is called the industry. So you're all very aware of it. Now, career services, I already showed you, correct? Which is very important. They give you a list of companies who come and hire, and we will see that shortly. Function is important. Now, what is function? This is not the program that you're having, the Indian function, but the function that you hold in a company. Example, I am a programming analyst, right? That's a function. I am in game development, doing that is a function. Think of it as departments. I am in software engineering, cybersecurity, AI, etc. Okay. So this is what we mean by a function, the subsystem or the things that you're there. Okay. So let's look at it. And it can be, you can get into research and development. See, I'm talking about top functions. There are tons of other ways. As I told you, this is only for computer science. Just think about electronic students. Okay. I'll show you a couple examples shortly. So the functions can be very different. And this is where you go to your respective program. So now I want you guys to go to your respective programs. All right. So when I say respective programs, you should have some way that you want to go, right? So we saw Georgia Tech, and we saw this career advice way up is a good one, etc. So anyway, well, let's go back to this. Walt is also like a very good way to understand more about careers. Okay, so I looked at computing school. Now I can go and look at other schools as well. And then I can look at all the employers who are coming in. I can look at like how to find internships and jobs and so on and so forth. All right. So you don't have to like only restrict yourself in this. So one of the things to consider at the moment would be that you can look at list of employers. Okay. So when I do this, automatically I can get it. And you can see this one. So you can also look at Quora for answers. As I said, use your Gen AI here for it and understand. Now let's see like ECE. It's called CE, like computer engineering at Georgia Tech. And then you can see like what are the things that are coming for the other branches. Okay. So they have multiple career expos and everything else and all that. And they tell you like what are the kind of companies that are coming and what are the kind of people. And see here, if I just click on it, I can understand it. I hope it opens, it does. And I think that they're asking us to go to another section and it's not found. So sorry, this was more computer civil engineering, I believe. I should have gone to CE, which is computer engineering. Where is computer engineering? Ah, this one. So if I go to the electrical and computer engineering department, again, I can go and then look at the academics, campus life, etc. And then also a little bit of information about the career services. I'll have to tell you one thing. Let me just show you UMich because UMich has one of the best career services because you know how many students they cater to every year? Almost like 6,000, 7,000. So the University Career Center at University of Michigan is one of the big ways for you to get a sense. Okay, isn't that cool? So you can make like I remember spending so much time there and going for free pizza and everything else. But they tell you a lot of things that are coming, and they tell you about, like, international students, how to navigate small talk, for example. They have like a special series, how to like look for internships, jobs, etc. So I want you to specifically look at this and then get a sense of what it is. Okay. So you will have events that are coming, you will have like employer challenge that is there. There are tons of resource that is available for you, what to wear, how to go, etc. And so, and this is for this one, and it's like for grad school also. So you can look at a lot of the career exploration tools right here, and they tell you about some of the things that matter for you. Okay. So they will also help you in terms of uh, going in as well. And you can look at now, this you saw was the overall thing. And now you can look specifically for the engineering career center resource, right? Because this is specifically for engineering, that one is for everybody in the world. So like that, you will have multiple department-based career services also. So which will tell you about who are the resources. So for example, who are all the corporate partners, who are all the people who came, and these are the guys who are going to come in and give you a job. All right. So you will look by students and you will look and understand like what are the sources, who is coming, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that is how you can best use the thing. And of course, engineering careers are also discussed here. Okay. In terms of what to look for, and then job postings, etc., etc. So the school will do a lot of work to help you with understanding how to go about the career selection, career services, etc. And so that is how you can identify your function. Okay. Now, the role that you get, okay, will 100% be a function of the work experience you have before your master's. Now, you might say, hey, I'm applying out of college. I don't have any work experience. That's perfectly fine. They will look at your internships. They will look at your performance in the master's. What kind of internship do you have? What kind of projects do you have, etc. Okay. So that is something that you'll have to keep into account. So what do we see right now? For you to answer that particular sentence, right? You need to know which industry you want to get into. You need to know the function. You need to know the role. That is where we have a roadmap for you. Like I showed you today, start researching on the targeted grad school on the website. Understand who's coming, what kind of jobs are available, what kind of events are there, what are resources available, etc. Now, connect with role models in the targeted industry. This is why we have a LinkedIn workshop. We'll keep you informed about it. You can come and join. Attend the admissions events, attend the, contact the career students for the current career services, etc. Contact the alumni working in the domain. It can be your own seniors from your own college, or it can be somebody who's working in your targeted college and so on. Okay. And a lot of these other things like taking additional courses in your domain. Example, if you want to get into cybersecurity, get a CEH. If you want to get into computer networks, get a CCNA. If you want to get into ML and this one, get a Kaggle, like Grandmaster or other things and all, like really high levels. Okay. So, of course, you have to show technical interest, guys. Don't think that you can go for a master's without having a technical ability. But you know what? I'll tell you a secret. 6 months is more than sufficient. Many of your seniors also started like this only, but they knew what to do and how to do it. All right, cool. So, what is a roadmap? And this is what we're going to do today as well. Start by researching the role that you want. Example, machine learning engineer at Google. Okay, biotech engineer, biotech research associated Wageningen. Yeah, just start, whatever it is. Then try to understand more about the role through multiple ways. Understand the skills needed, looking at the job description. Understand the career services and follow the trends in your domain. Look at the curriculum, etc. Now, this is the exercise that I want you to do for the next 2 minutes, or rather 3 minutes. Look at it and say, what is your current challenge right now? Do you not know how to find out your job, like the targeted domain? Domain is like, machine learning or whatever it is. Okay. Do you not know anybody in the role? Is that the problem? Do you not know if your career goals are okay, or like how to connect to your past to the career goals? See, for example, what I mean by it is you can be a, let's say you're a person coming from the ECE domain and you want to get into machine learning. Okay. So some roles may not be available to you because they may request that you need to be a CS major in order to get into a CS job and so on. So that's what I mean by connecting your past to your career goals. Okay, so suppose you have a different degree or a different, so for example, you have a different internship. Like say all your internships are in software engineering, but you want to get into ML. How do you do it? Okay, sometimes you may not be very clear about when is your long-term goal and short-term goal, etc. And that's why we are there to help you. And this particular knowledge of understanding your career goals will be used in your essays in the month of August. Okay, but we start now. So that means that you have to look at it. So look at it and tell me that are you seeing or envisioning any kind of roadblock? Quickly. Okay, guys, do you want to quickly share with me like what are your roadblocks? By the way, the career interest assessments are available on Vault, as I showed you on Georgia Tech, right? It is available in this page. Okay. Okay, I'm not yet getting any answers yet. I hope you're all there because we're now going to start on our workshop at the moment. Now that we know a little bit of things, or actually a lot of things, we're going to actually start answering some of the items. Okay, so the first thing that we will answer is the form. I hope that you all picked up the form. This was the very first link I shared. I'm going to share it once more so that everybody has this form. And we're going to start filling it out. Please open the form and we're going to just, these things are like so easy to answer, which I hope that you'll answer. Don't be like me, answer it correctly. And okay, so I hope that you're able to see the screen so far. Yeah, you guys have been a little bit, I think you're all tired. Yeah, don't worry, we're done. This is very exciting. Come on, guys, let's do this. Okay. So when you come here, these are very simple things. We're just asking you this because some of you have got your updated results, some of you have not shared it with us yet, and therefore we're just asking you. So I'm just going to write random stuff here. So I might be in the 6th or 7th or whatever, and so on. So you can write, so for example, you can write, see, you can write, if you do not have anything, please write not applicable. But if you have something, you can write it like this. I have like 5 active, and then 4 clear, etc. like that. Okay, no shame, guys, and like having a backlog. So what? There are so many people who have like lived life. Okay, so you can always write it like that and add like so 4 active and 5 clear or whatever. So like this, be very clear about the backlogs, if any. Give us an update of anything that is going on since the profile gap analysis session. If I haven't met you, you can just write like project and then like paper done, course, etc. That's it. Something of that sort. Now you please tell us whether you're doing it. If you're not doing it, simple as that. Okay. Other can be like, I talked to a person who said, unfortunately, there was a passport issue and they couldn't take it. It was so sad. I want to tell you this, like we tell this on the course itself, like GRE so many times. Please check your passport, ID, everything that's required and go for the test. Don't go without preparation, right? Okay. Now you can write whatever it is. Now, for example, you're confused, write the first thing that comes to your mind at the moment and tell us like whether it's technical, techno managerial, etc. Now you can tell your specialization. So you can say that, hey, you know what? I want to get into like AI ML as my first specialization, then cybersecurity as my second, and maybe like software engineering as my third. Okay. So like this, you can write something like all your preferred specializations and which is the first priority in the country, which is the second priority in the country, which is the third priority, right? Simple. I hope everybody has done this so far. I'm going to give you one more minute. Yeah, so far so good. Everybody, very simple, straightforward part. Now, you might say, Kritika, I have not decided the regions yet, right? Okay, in that case, stop. So let's stop right now. And let's just quickly look at, oops, let's quickly look at this, okay? If you haven't done so, then I want you to pause the session for the moment. And I really would want you to open a couple things here for me. So I want you to go to your LMS portal and go to the LMS portal and go to the, the what we call as the guide to graduate school applications. You'll already have it. I'm just going to show it to you guys. Please watch me. This is a course in which you'll have access. Log in using Google and then come there. You will have important tools to help you. In that, you will have industry research worksheet right now, which is here, but you have something called as application checklist. In this, I want you to click the region research. Can you guys do that for me quickly? Click on the region research. So when you click on the region research, I have already kept it open so that it is easier for you. It'll open up like this. Okay. An Excel sheet will get downloaded and it'll open up like this. And this is where, remember like in the first discussion, we were like looking at so many things, correct? As in financial goals, this goal, that goal, every goal, etc. Right? So that is what we would actually look at. Okay, so when I went and downloaded the region research worksheet, it came up like this. Okay, so and where you have your short-term goal, right? And then say I'm going to show you the sample so that it is very easy for you to understand. So then we said the region preference is very important. For example, I'm going to USA. I'm trying to look at Ann Arbor, Michigan. So what are my short-term considerations? What are my long-term considerations? Okay, in the short term, I'll be just living in Ann Arbor. In the long term, maybe I'll work in Ann Arbor, I'll go somewhere else, I'll work in New York City. Most of the people in Ann Arbor go to Chicago, like that. Okay, so this region research worksheet is nothing but it is a comprehensive sheet which we put together to collect all your financial goals, your personal goals, your professional goals, and everything in one place. Okay, look at the sample and you will get an idea of how to use it. So you will have a fact. The fact is that Ann Arbor, like, is a semi-urban, actually it's an urban is what they say right now. It's an urban college town, and then bus facilities there. The facilities are amazing, etc. Okay, versus this one, like the short-term consideration is to study, the long-term consideration to work after masters. So here, the fact is that there is a Google campus in Ann Arbor, blah blah blah, etc. Novi, Canton, and all of them are so close by. Okay, and it's really nice to live there. Okay, so this is how you start researching about which country to go to. And we have a sample here which shows you clearly how to use it. Your particular region might be different. You will say, hey, you know what? I want to go to Canada. I want to go to like Germany. I want to go to France. Okay. So we've given you a few examples out here. And then this is the thing where you can go and edit. Okay, so here I can go and pick the region research worksheet. I can make multiple copies. I can add, I want to go to France, and I can add France here, and I can add like the schools I'm considering. So I want to go to, like, or rather I'll say ETH Zurich. Okay, and Zurich, and then I can say Switzerland. So that can be my country. I can go get started and see which is a short term, what is a long term. Okay, and then go ahead. All right. So I would want you to look at the sample here in order to understand how to work on it. And this is a very important document for you. And you will really see that there's a lot of information given. Now you might wonder, hey, Kritika, you didn't tell me more about it. So that is exactly where, don't worry. I have already told you about this in your in the research about grad schools and the region research. So for example, if you just go back, you will see the webinars that are available in order to help you to identify which region, which country to go. So we have an entire study abroad country specific series that can help you get more details. Where should you go study? Canada, US, Netherlands, Germany. You might wonder, like, hey, there is no Japan here, because see, not a lot of my clients go to Japan. But you can use the same formula for any region in the world. So I have a lot of people wanting to go to South Korea, actually, like, a lot comparatively, meaning like around 5 or 6 people have just joined us for South Korea, which is very interesting. South Korea is very tough as well, not easy to get in. So I would want you to go and look at the country specific series here and understand what is the study like. So all the answers that you want are available from these webinars. So for example, let me just show you, right? So let's come here and then stop. For example, here you will understand like what are the type of masters available in Australia. You will understand like how much money, and then what is the cost of comparison, how much duration, as well as let's look at this. Okay, the cost of living comparison and popular cities in Australia, popular cities in New Zealand, etc. So you will get a lot of understanding of, see, what is the path to permanent residency in Australia. So all the information that you need in order to fill your region research worksheet is available in all these different webinars. Okay, now you guys are not going to go to all the countries in the world, hopefully, right? And you're just going to look at your country that you want to go to. So start looking at it one by one and getting a sense of what to do and how to work on it. So far, so good, everybody. Are you with me? Right? Okay. All right, cool. So that was about the region, because knowing which region to apply becomes very important for you. Because you can't randomly come and say, oh, I'm going to go to, like, Iceland. There are not enough universities in Iceland, to be very honest. And I would say, why not study in India then, right? Now comes the crucial sheet, which I really love. And we spend a lot of time on this. You need to look at the industry research worksheet. Again, you can download it from the same LMS portal, which I showed you. I'll show you once more. Let me explain this and I'll show you once more. See, this is a sample of, like, a sample is already provided on how to use it. Okay, so here you will see that you are having Like, so for example, I decided I want to go into the automotive sector. I want to go into process and automation. I want to go into mobility transportation, right? So here my recruiting companies are Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Denso, blah, 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 and so many things and so on, right? So like this, I can start researching on the targeted domain. What kind of role do I want? What kind of job description is available? What is the sector? How much salary? What is the career path typically that's available, etc. So for all the research that I'm doing, I can come and put it down in one nice place for all the research. Okay, and this is your free worksheet where you can just go and add your own things. So you can just go add wherever you want to get into, right? You may want to get in, so giving you an aerospace example, you might want to get into aircraft structures, aircraft controls, or aeronautics or avionics, whatever. So then you can find out all the companies, all the facts and everything else and so on. So this is a way to tie in everything together and have it ready. Now, I am not asking you to do everything in one day. That's why we're giving you this entire month of April in order to do this research. Okay, you should do this research sometimes. By the way, it takes only half an hour or less than half an hour in order to do this. How do I know? Because I showed you right now. I showed you Georgia Tech had like all the career recruiters, resources. You just Google, you'll be able to find out, right? So this is very important in order to understand what are your goals. How are the goals affecting your decision on which program you're choosing ultimately? Okay. So I hope that this is also something that you will start working on as I promised. Where can I find this is right here. Please go to the lms.thecareerlabs.com, go to the application checklist. All of the worksheets are listed here. Okay. So this is where you find the region research worksheet, industry research worksheet. And I think we have also kept it separately today for your reference so that you can easily find out. It's over here. The industry research worksheet is available right here. Okay. All right. So how are you guys feeling so far? Good. Let's move. Okay. Now let's go back to our nice looking thing. Now it is possible for me to understand which priority, which region for the time being. Okay. Once I select it, then you can ask us any questions or something that you might have, and you can just submit, right? You can say like, how can I balance academics and GRE right now? You can ask us any questions. You can tell us like, oh, I'm so worried or whatever it is. Please feel free to ask us the questions. I'm not sure of between what do you call it as MS and CS versus MS in AI ML. Okay, so tell me about what it is. All right, and then submit. That's it. It's super simple. Okay, now if you don't do this part, then what will I tell you is I'm going to tell you to please look at our list of handouts that we shared with you last week, I think, or month. This is the handout that we shared with you, which tells you about the top schools in the world. Okay, so if you're not going to tell us which region you're going to study, where you're going to go, then how will we be able to send you a set of programs? We won't be. Okay, so that is where you please send us your preferences and then we can help you accordingly, right? Because if you don't send us your preferences, then our recommendation to you will be like, please go and search any of these top universities that we are displaying. So look at these top universities. We already added this in the handout. Okay. All the top universities are available in the US, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, etc., etc. So this is one way. Go and search and then get it done. All right. Now, you might say, what is the other way? The other way is, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to tell you. Like, see, this is where you leverage the value of it, right? So I am just going to ask AI to help me here. So I'll say that, give me a list of programs for MS in MI. Someone was asking this, so I'm just going to put it MS in AI and ML so I'm just going to say Germany, because somebody says that, Kritika, you're always doing US. So why not Germany? Let's go to Germany. All right. So I can just put this here and I'm going to use my Copilot for it. Okay. This is how AI helps you. Ask AI, use AI for this. This is very nice. And you can do this. Other way is definitely go to QS top rankings, US news top rankings, and so on. That is a way, right? But the best way is if you sign and send us your preferences, we will send you a list of programs that you can look at. Okay. And I would say that go and look at it, because these are super simple. I will always say that with program links. Okay. So if I say this, then the particular thing becomes a little different. And then it's going to like come up and then tell you as well. Okay. How cool is this? So this is how you have to use AI. AI is really good for this kind of preliminary research. So use it. And then understand like any questions that you might want in terms of wherever you're finding it. See, but do not use it blindly. I keep telling you many times. Go, of course, and once you get like a little bit of answers, please go search the original website that is available in order to get better indication of what is available and so on. So this is a quick and dirty way. It hardly took you half a second. So don't come and tell me, oh, I never had a chance to look at my program. Absolutely not. It takes you half a second to look at it. And then even like it even gives you like some of the information that's available. So all we are asking you is preferences. We're saying like, which region do you want to go? What program are you wanting to study? Okay. So you see how simple it was? And if I'm in your position, I will go and check out what we call as the main links first. Okay, yes, AI is great, but you want to really look at the like this one first. Okay, sometimes you can even say that give me official sources or official program links. So that is something that will also help you, right? So can you give me the official website sources? So then it gives you like the better sources, and then it can help you further. Okay, how cool is this, right? This is what you want to really talk about. Okay, fine. So yeah, I'm gonna yeah, this is something that you will want to go ahead and then explore. Now let's stop here for a second and let's come back to the question that we had in the beginning. So the question we had and that we were trying to solve is that so we were trying to solve what is the roadmap that you have for our like identifying your career goals. And we saw so many things today. But we saw that we had two cool worksheets which ties in all together. So all the things we discussed today is all in that worksheet. Now, do you have to use only that worksheet? No, honestly, I don't really worry, but I really worry that you have your answers. I don't want you to have any roadblocks, and I honestly worry that you have the answers that are required in order to help you further. Okay, it's super simple. You saw that you're just essentially putting together information about a particular role together and assessing what it is needed. So your graduate journey actually starts from here. Okay. See, I am showing you a B school here as an example for career goals, but trust me, Arizona State University, TAMU, I was helping somebody for, today I was helping somebody for, I forgot, getting into Munich. Yeah, the peso and everybody else and all that, right? So one of the questions they were answering is why masters now and why not later in your career? So that's where career goals matter a lot. Okay, so if you have to come and tell me why masters now, you have to answer this question. And I also want to leave you with this. See, your career path in life is not going to be constant, my friends. You will have multiple things later on happening. Whether you're going as a, whether you have a BTech or an MTech for that matter, right? The point is that your career needs always a boost, either with an MBA or an MS or whatever it is at the moment. Okay. So that's what I want to show you. Like, doesn't matter how long you work in a certain place and so on. Later on, you end up doing multiple things. And people could come from different backgrounds, different things, and so on. So this you have to keep in mind. And that's why we say plan for at least 5 years. See, of course, everything may not go as per plan, but so what? Tell me, like, has everything gone as per plan in your life? Probably not. But at least you know where you're headed. And that's what is the most important aspect, that you have to uh, worry about. Okay, now let me just stop sharing 1 second once more. So, are you guys like, see, today the goal was we saw three worksheets. Sorry, we saw two worksheets right now, the region research worksheet and industry research worksheet. Now, why do we call it as industry research and not career goals? Is because, see, honestly, you're researching about an industry. You're researching about the jobs available in healthcare, jobs available in machine learning, jobs available in automotive industry, biotech, etc. So that's why we call it as industry research. In an industry, you get so many careers, so many career paths, etc. So we saw that. We saw the regions. There are thousands of countries that you can go into, not really, actually, 12 countries, which are much more developed than India, that you want to get into. And we saw like how to like differentiate between them and understand the long-term consequences of the this one, your decision of going to a particular program. Okay, and the third thing that we saw was the form actually. It's not a worksheet, but a form where you have to give in your preferences. And if you share your preferences, we will share a list with you. Now, if you don't share your preferences, then I'm going to point you to the top universities list and say that go and pick any university from there and start the research about it. All right, so that's where we were at. Any questions that you had at the moment that I can answer? Feel free to like type out your questions, ask your questions. I know it's must be a long day, right, for many of you, but honestly, this is fun. This is your way out. This is the way that you are getting into your preferred college program, hopefully with a scholarship. See, I have friends and family in all over the world now, and a lot of friends and clients, I should say, definitely. So I can tell you that no region is 100% safe. Not even India, my friends. So unfortunately, I have to tell you this. One of my in our apartment complex, there was this person. He was just 40, I think 40 years old, 39 years old, something. He used to walk his dog all the time. And, we also used to walk and we will see that person. So that's how we knew that person. That person, he was just 39 and he died. Suddenly, no one knew the cause. And then later on, they came to know that he had like a block in the heart and he died immediately. No, nothing. Like he was just, on the day that he died in the morning, we had seen him with his dog. And the next day, we are seeing, like, the evening or night, we get the news that he's dead. Okay. And I have so many news of some people. I lost a client actually because the one of the clients died in a road accident. So I have to tell you that the world is a bad place and a risky place. Let's not say a bad place, it's a risky place. No matter where you go, there is going to be risk. The question is like, are you aware of what you're getting into? Don't go by what I say. Don't go by what your parents are saying or what someone else is saying. Please, like, embrace all the consequences of it. If you're going to the US, you better study hard. You better have an idea of like coming up and then going. And not just that, if you're going to Germany, be very willing to learn that language. Otherwise you're going to be stuck in that same role doing nothing much, right? So that was our endeavor to help you through all the news and everything that you might be hearing. Okay, so I want to read this question loud. I really can't figure out when to give GRE. I have continuous semesters, and Saturdays are also working. That worries a lot. See, I would say that please allocate a little bit of time every day towards GRE. Okay. See, tell me, guys. Like, see, how much is? See, how can I get 3 hours per week towards GRE? Can someone help me with this math problem? How to get 3 hours per week towards GRE? 15 minutes whenever you can get. So do 15 minutes every day. So that's going to be like, 1 hour, 15 minutes. And then the rest on the weekend, on Sunday. I had this person who would, I had this person who would go for German classes, crash courses every day, and then come to college. So if you have the will, you have the way. By the way, GRE is offered only in the shorter version. It is not offered in the older version. Older version was sunset long time back. In September 23rd, in fact, of 2023, it switched to a shorter format. You don't have the older format now. Okay. And good news about shorter format of GRE is like it just eliminated many sections. That's all. All right. Any other questions that are there for me at the moment? See, I also wanted to congratulate some of you who are already doing these things, and I know who you are. Some of you are like already very diligent. You all got your CV reviewed, I know, and you already started working towards it. I'm extremely proud about it. So, when I see you in the focus hours in April, I would want you to have completed the worksheets and sent it to us. You should have completed the region research worksheet and the industry research worksheet. Of course, it can change. Of course, it will change. See, as more and more research you do, you will change your mind. That's the beauty of research, right? That's the beauty of education overall. So please keep that in mind and then, get started. All right. So it is a pleasure talking to you all. And so I'm going to be like taking leave of you now, but I really wish to see you and good luck. I really hope that you will fill out all these sheets and everything and then send it to us as soon as possible. So happy learning, everybody, and happy graduate school search. Bye.